Hey guys, welcome back to Key to the Century, and today we're going to look at a car that honestly I didn't have on my radar as something that I would like, but due to the fact that it's actually built the way it is and what type of car it is, kind of puts it in a perspective of, is this something that I will put on my list? Well, I think this is something that you should put on your list, at least to go test drive and look at. And that, my friend, is the Cadillac OPTIQ. Originally, this was built for the Chinese market, but I do believe that what GM as a whole decided to do with the Cadillac brand was to debut something there, and based off of, the overall, FOMO that, most Americans may have when they see this online, they decided to bring this car to the States, which I think was a great choice, because what it does is it gives you a lot of features that the Lyriq has, but on top of that, the nice thing that it does do is it improves in some, but does take a step back because the Lyriq is still a much more expensive car, a little bit bigger car, and overall probably a higher luxury car. With this being built on the Equinox EV's platform, the Ultium platform on its own is showing that it does have versatility. Everything from the smaller Equinox all the way up to your larger pickup trucks like the Silverado EV. But let's look at the OPTIQ though and see what makes it very appealing for someone like myself, or you if you are thinking about purchasing a Cadillac in the future. Now, as you can see, the welcoming lights just came on as I got closer to the vehicle, and because the key is in my pocket. And speaking of key, let's talk about this guy. This is just a General Motors key rebadge. I wish they had did a little bit of a different change on this, but it does have your general lock, unlock, your 2 times to open up the rear lift gate, which we'll do that now. And then of course you have your remote start to turn on the car, which we will also do that now, because we want to make sure we get in a nice cool car after walking around. But looking up front here, we do have really nice daytime running lamps that actually come up and across, so it gives you like this nice backwards 7 look. Your jewel eye headlights and high beams are all right here. You also have some fake areas where it looks like it will be ventilation, but of course you have your proximity sensor here. But it's just a really nice aerodynamic look. Your night light comes across the bottom here, and of course the Cadillac front logo does illuminate at night as well. You have your front-facing camera, because this does offer a full surround view camera standard. And what we are looking at here is the Luxury 2 model, so you'll notice there's some extra chrome here and there, a little bit of dark accents that I think looks really well, or works really well for this particular model. We have 20-inch wheels here. These are, I believe they are 245, no, they're 245 55 R20s on both front and rear, so they're basically the same across the board. And then of course we hit the charge port here. You can see you've got the illuminated charge port, which I do like the fact that this is a CCS port still. It will be going over to the NACS standard eventually, but as of right now it's still the CCS for charging. Does give you a charging status here, which a lot of cars still have on the plate. Sometimes they forget it, which I think that's kind of an injustice to their own brand. Tap that to close it. Actually, here we go. And a nice power close. Some people don't like the power. I like it. I think it just gives you a nice look to it. You got your body colored mirrors with the Luxury 2. Still the surround view camera here. Turn signals built into integration. Your door handles do pop out vertically, 30 degrees in the opposite direction. Most people think it'll be easier to go this way. Cadillac chose to go this way, opposite of Tesla, which I think is kind of good that you're just, distancing yourself from the standard. But at the same time, it does sometimes drive people nuts. And these are illuminated as well, so these do glow at night. So as you approach the car, you'll see those pop up. This vehicle, as tested, is going to be $55,095. That is the base standard price. Adding a couple extras here with destination, it comes to $56,605. And the only option is 15 bucks for what? Oh, the front license plate bracket. Who needs that unless you're in the right state? But this is, like I said, the OPTIQ Luxury 2. So we're going to talk about everything you see here is standard features, which is nice. I like the fact that they will allow me to get a chance to view this one. Now come around the back, you can see you actually have a decent sized rear trunk back here. Plenty of space for you to actually put, you know, a lot of luggage. Probably I could say 1 large and 2 rollers, or up to maybe 4 rollers if you did it just right. You do have your privacy cover that you can see kind of extends and comes across. I like that a lot because it still gives you some kind of privacy, although there is a little bit too much gap on this side in my opinion. But you also see that there is the AKG rear speakers here, and this does have an awesome sound system. I'm gonna see if I can play it for about 5 seconds before I get stricken down, of course. Bag hooks, LED lights here on both sides. You got the hooks as well for the rear passengers. ISOFIX top tethers on all 3 sides. This is a 60-40 split seat. There's your $15 license plate bracket. And of course your tow bracket. They just got this guy off of the truck, I think it was 2 days ago. So it just sat there. So let's see, there's no place to hold this up, which I feel like that's kind of a miss. But beneath here, you do have quite a bit of storage. And you can see that actually they have an extra tow hook they don't need, because there's one there and one there. There's your J1172 level 1 charger inside its own case. Good little storage place to put everything at. And then as we kind of go back here in the back, you've got a nice little scuff plate here. That's actually still like it has, no, they peeled off the blue tape on it. So overall, really nice rear. You're going to see that this is the OPTIQ, and it says 500 E4. This is an all-wheel drive model. All OPTIQs are all-wheel drive. There's no rear-wheel drive as of yet. The 500 is in Newton meters. So the torque, I believe, is like 360 pounds-feet of torque, and it's 300 horsepower. So, and I'm not sure if you saw the lights kind of go off there. Let's go ahead and lock the door, see if we get any kind of animation. We'll unlock it. And no animation on that side. There you go. Okay, now if you're seeing that, it should be like a waterfall drop, letting you know it's open. All right, so let's come around here to the side and let's look inside this guy. Okay, so getting in the back seat, we are now looking at, once again, really nice materials here. This is basically a nice fabric material right here on the side door panel. There's your AKG side speaker. Also there's one in the door. Your handle to open the door, open the back. Power window, also rear lock switches. This one does not have a privacy glass or privacy shade, so we don't have privacy shade on the on the OPTIQ, but we do have it as an option on like the Escalade IQ. The rear seats back here done really well. Here's actually the actually this is the level 2 charger, so they give you a level 2 charger in the box. Let's see here. So you also have your rear cup holders back here, decent size, very sturdy. I like this. This is also very soft and padded, so very good there. Like I said, 60-40 split. We do have your rear map pockets on both passenger and driver seats. You have your rear vents only in the center, no side vents that you would see on some of the other cars in this class. Heated rear seats, 2 USB-C ports, and of course a regular wall outlet. And it should be a little cubby hole down here for storage. So not bad at all. And hopping in the back. Now I'm 5'9". I actually have plenty of room from my head to the wall of the headliner here, about that much. And then of course to the sunroof, probably another 1.5 inches. Sides feel good. If I close this door, very nice solid sound as far as the door itself. Now you also see the other AKG speakers throughout the cabin. There's 4 more on the roof headliner here. LED map lights, old blank handles on the 2 rear doors only, not on the front doors. A little bit of a hook here for you to put, jacket or some kind of a hanger or something like that. This headrest actually could be designed to be good for a coat to put on, but I love the molding of this. This actually looks really well, and it's a really nice fit. Doesn't feel like anything's weird. This is pretty solid up front, so there's a really good weight there. The comfort level of these seats are really good, so they feel like you're sitting in a more luxury vehicle, which is a good thing, because that's what we want to see. We want to see Cadillac continue to resurgence themselves back into the luxury brand. Okay, now we come to the front passenger door. I want to show this on the passenger side too, so you can see a little bit better up close. This is that same fabric material that's basically on the dash. It's on the front seat doors, the rear seat doors, and it has a very canvas type feel to it, but it's definitely really good as far as overall quality. Then of course you can see on the door itself, you have all of your heated seats controls, and it's actually a two-stage, so you actually have just the back only, or the back and the bottom for your heated seats. And then of course you have your ventilated seats down here at the bottom. You then have your memory controls for both front passenger and the driver's side. If you do the luxury one or the sport one, it's only memory seats on the driver's side, and the passenger still has powered seats, but there's no memory, no heated and ventilated. Of course you have your side controls to help move the seat forward and back, and then your window controls are down here at the bottom. So you have that here as far as that, opening up the door with the same latch. AKG speakers, and then a really nice bin down here at the bottom for you to kind of see, you know, how much storage you can get in there for bottles and everything else. So kind of swinging back inside, we're going to go around to the other side and really talk about what this is like inside, because I think this is probably the biggest part that people love. Okay, so we mentioned already how the driver's seat and everything is set up. One of the things I want you to remember is this whole layout is the luxury 2 package, but the luxury 1 package isn't too far off. The nice thing about this is you do have this nice leather material across, and it really feels like it's an upscale overall feel when it comes to the quality of this car. But the biggest thing that people are going to see when they look at this is this large 33-inch display. And this is an OLED display, and it is a very, very good display. I think this is where Cadillac has really brought their A game, and they continue to do that with the newer models like the Escalade IQ and now the new Vistic, which hopefully we'll get a chance to view very soon. Now, before we kind of dive into a first-person view of this side, I do want to talk about this center console area. You have two nice luxury console cup holders. I wish they were either heated or chilled. It'd be pretty cool, but you know, once again, this is the OPTIQ, so it's your baseline Cadillac. Maybe something to bring into either the Lyriq, and I believe it might be an option on the Cadillac Escalade IQ. Now you do have a volume control here, roller, and then of course you have your jog dial, and you have some controls for music. You have a place to put your phone here. Also a little storage on this side. 2 more USB-C ports here. Your glove box is controlled by the infotainment system, which we'll show that in a minute. And of course you have your center armrest, which does allow you to have a little pocket here, and your wireless charging mat is also on this side. This little cover comes up and reveals 2 more USB-C ports and an auxiliary jack inside. So that gives you a total of 6 USB-C ports throughout this vehicle. The lower level down here, really nice felt line pocket. I love the fact that they did that and not just put a piece of rubber down, because it does allow it to reduce any of that impact noise from things sliding around the car, which drives people nuts. Drives me nuts, big time. And of course your fully manual vent controls are all over the front of the dash. One of the things that in my Lyriq video that I actually got criticized about, but at the same time I understand what they're saying, was that piece of metal here reflected a lot of light into your eyes. So I said, hey, maybe you could put something on to cover it up. Some people didn't like that, but I think what they did was they realized that that was a very high impact point, and they put a more of a flat white, or whatever this color is down here. It's like a white silver piece of plastic down here, which is really good because now that reflection doesn't come back in your eyes as much. The other nice thing about it is the fabric is here, but because this is a high touch point area, they actually put a gloss coating on top of it. So this side that you feel the fabric won't get as dirty as if you put something here and you spill coffee or soda on this, because this is a hard piece of plastic, so very easy to clean up. Okay, so looking at the OPTIQ steering wheel, this is where there's two things that stand out for me. One is the fact that you do have all of your steering wheel controls here. You have that driver's center camera for attention, make sure that you're looking forward. This is basically because you have Super Cruise as standard on all OPTIQ models, which is really good. You have your controls on the left side, heated steering wheel, cruise control over here, distance control. On the right side, all of your media controls, volume up and down, your tracks, your phones, answer, voice assistant. If you're using the inbuilt one, it's gonna say Google. If you're using your own personal phone, it'll be, hey Siri or whoever. The last time I was in the Lyriq, I did a very quick rush job and I knew I missed some things. So now I got a chance to kind of do a redo. So right off the back, over here on the left-hand side, you have your information system that you can adjust things like your gauge. You can adjust the energy amount. You can adjust the map settings, assist. So as I go to gauge, I can actually go in here and set up based off a tour, or I can do sport, which for some reason is not letting me, it's got a link to drive mode. So if I take that off, then I turn on sport, it gives me more of a sport gauge. And something was approaching me. Phantom, I guess, from the tree. All right. And then we've got your tour. So you get the more classic look. We're gonna leave it on the classic look for right now. If I tap over here for energy, you actually have your energy view. And hopefully this is gonna be able to come through really well on camera, but you'll be able to see this hopefully pretty good. So you can see what the range is. This doesn't have a lot of charge on it, 55 miles, 1 kilowatt versus what is roughly saying. So it's saying we got 55 miles to empty. Speedometer here, there's your driver select, and it tells you what your seating capacity is. How many miles are actually on the car. 3 miles are on this car, so it just came off the truck, like I said. If I tap the map view, and of course we're here at Fred Anderson GMC, Cadillac, and Chevrolet dealership here in Greer, South Carolina. If I go to the assist, we can see your assist control. So it will show you the car itself, anything around it. We're going to see what that looks like as we're doing the drive. And then of course you have your clean, which is just straight up speedometer and your battery and range. So not bad at all. Let's go back to the primary gauge. And over here on the right hand side, now you've got where some things that I missed. Before we get there, we're going to talk a little bit about here. This is your climate control, fixed buttons, which everyone loves. And I'm one of those people who do think it's still great to have both options, on screen and fixed. And GM did a great job here. Going down here toward the bottom, you've got all of your systems. Like I said, if I hit the home button, it'll take me back home. It also gives me the ability to change just by turning that dial. Cup holders here. And going into the infotainment system, you have your vehicle status. There you can see your tire pressures, your energy information. Let's look at that first. You can see where it's saying, hey, it does not have a lot of energy here. And it doesn't do a lot, so we won't drive this too far. We're just going to do a quick little trip since they didn't charge us up. Air quality, you actually can see it does have an air quality sensor inside. That kind of tells you how good the air quality here is inside the car. And of course, there's an index to tell you what it looks like and what those values are. Going back home, you have your drive modes. And of course, you have your tour, your sport, snow and ice, and then my mode where you can adjust this. Some people will say, this doesn't really change that much other than this little background image. I personally don't mind it. It's not a big deal. It just gives you an idea of what it looks like. We'll leave it in tour for right now. Going back home again, you got your My Cadillac mode. It takes you to your My Cadillac account, Google Assistant, Play Store. Here's your charging screen. This is where you can actually set up your charging times. What do you want to charge to? If you want to charge now, charge later, you can set up a schedule. And of course, you can set your home location so it knows when that schedule is supposed to take effect. Let's look at the cameras, 360 camera view. It's a good quality. It's probably still a step down below what the Lyriq was for sure. The Lyriq had a much better quality camera. And then you have your surround view And then that little button is your glove box. Not a big glove box, to be honest. It's kind of a little shallow glove box there. Decent, but it is felt line. So very easy for you to get to everything in there. Let's exit out of this. We've got Alexa. We've got your settings. So you can go in here. You can change things within the vehicle. Things like your audio settings, drive mode customization, teen driver. You know, one of the things that comes out for a lot of people is like, hey, I got a young teen gonna be driving my car. This is a lot of power for some people who don't know how to use it. So turning that on is a good plus, and you can set maximum speeds. And then of course, as we go back here home, you've got your ambient lighting, which is another thing that's going to be part of the Luxury 2 and Sport 2 packages, where you have ambient lighting that's fully customizable. And let's see, down here at the bottom, of course, we already see the glove box there. One pedal driving. I personally say turn this off on OTM vehicles until you get comfortable with it, because if you leave it on normal, it's not as bad, but when you put it on high, it's very aggressive, and it can really make your passengers sick. And of course down here you've got vehicle remaining 60 minutes to make sure. So okay, that's to tell you we're going to turn the power on when the car is off. So we'll hit okay, vehicle off, and I just turn the vehicle off. Very easy for you to do there. But let's go ahead and get us started on a nice little quick test drive, because I think that's what people want to see. And before we do it though, let me get this bad boy back on. Let's see if you guys can see that head-up display now. I think it's showing up now. It should be a 0, roughly right here. So you should see a 0 right there. And that's GM's standard head-up display. Now, if I go in here to look at this, and it's the same control here on the side. Now I can actually adjust this height. Yeah, I can see it on the camera, so you guys should be able to see it as well. And we already showcased it, but you can see it before. This does have the large glass roof. So if I push this open, you can see that it is a just large glass roof. There is no opening on this one. Now there is a model that you can get the powered opening sunroof, because the Equinox and the Blazer both have that option. And of course you do have your regular mirror, but of course if I pull up, it becomes your camera mirror. And I can tell you this image looks better than the rear view camera image. So what I'm thinking, they just use two different types of cameras. You have your OnStar system here. You have your emergency hazards. There is a internal camera, once again, to kind of watch over yourself. I'm hoping that GM releases a update here, which will allow you to use this for recording inside and out, just like Tesla does on their cameras. The map lights, typical GM, very easy for you to kind of see. And they do, of course, pop out and slide out. Now, let's get this party started, shall we? And before we do that, though, I did want to go back here. This is an 88. Okay, just that little bit of a quick little, that sounds really good. That sounds really, really good. Now, I will say a lot of times when you're satellite radio streaming, you have that tingy sound, which it does have that. But to me, it feels like it's going to get better when you have just a straight CD quality sound, or if you're playing directly from your phone, it's going to sound 10 times better than what I just heard from satellite or Sirius XM. So sound system, this AKG system is an awesome feature to have. And that, of course, like I said, it is part of the standard package for the Luxury 2. So if you're looking for one, $56,000, I don't think it's a bad price for a car that has this much equipment in it.